I'm hella disappointed. The camera we've all been waiting for, the Blackmagic Pixis, I ordered in mid-April. It was supposed to ship in May and it's still not here in September. And I think you guys deserve to know why. Because it frustrated me so much, I dug in and I did a little research to figure out what the heck is going on. So I want to share the information I found with you guys, as well as tell you when we can realistically expect to get this camera. I'm even going to give you a sneak peek to the project that we've been in pre-production for, that we plan to shoot on the Pixis as soon as it arrives. So for starters, if you've been as anxious as me, then you know that last week we finally got to see what the footage from the camera looks like, thanks to the wondering DP who Blackmagic hired to travel to Margaret River, Australia to shoot a commercial. And personally, I think the image is freaking amazing. We got to see not only what it can do with exterior shots, but even how it holds up with interior shots as well. Because as most of you know, as good as cameras are now, and with the Access Light, you can get beautiful outdoor shots with about any camera. But when you're inside and using artificial lighting, that's where we can see images fall apart. But that was definitely not the case here. And for anyone that may be wondering, he got these shots on the Tribe lenses. So I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's why it looks so good, but bite me. I've seen plenty of other footage from other cameras using those lenses, and it was good, but you have to give credit where credit is due. We asked Blackmagic for this camera, and they delivered, kinda. Well, they ain't delivered yet. So we know we're getting a great product with the Pixis, but the concern here is why are we still waiting to get this camera when it was promised to us months ago? Well, the first thing we should address is this is pretty much how every Blackmagic product release has went in the past. They announce that they're available and then it's several months or even worse before we actually get the gear. Now, if that hasn't been your experience with Blackmagic, then by all means, tell me different in the comments. But from my perspective, it's always been like this. I don't know if any of you remember, but when the original Blackmagic was announced a decade ago, there were a lot of people who didn't get the camera until a year later. And by that time, the 4K had been announced. Hopefully, this situation isn't that bad with this camera. But here we are 4 months past that said date. So we're knocking at half a year already. Now, why is this happening? I used to think maybe it was because they partly manufacture in China. But while that is usually a factor, you would think as long as Blackmagic has been doing this, they would have a grip on how to set realistic release dates. I don't think that's what it is. I do, however, have a theory. Think about NAB. NAB is where all of the major manufacturers meet and they show off their latest products, their latest gear, technology, all of those things. Pretty much everything that's new in the cinematography world. It's like Cinema Christmas. Well, the talk of this year's NAB was, of course, Blackmagic releasing not only the Pixis, but also the Ursa Cine 12K. But plenty of other companies announced new gear, from DJI with new drones, Zeiss with new lenses, and a lot of other wide-ranging gear. There was a lot of variation as far as what each company dropped. But guess what the common thing was between most of those companies? Almost every piece of gear was expected to be releasing in June. So here's what I think. I think that Blackmagic knew that this camera wouldn't be ready by that time. But if they were to say, hey, look at this awesome camera. If you pre-order it, you'll be able to get it in 12 months. Exactly how excited would we be to drop $3,500 or $14,000 then? Me personally, I would probably be more excited about what I could get my hands on now or in a month or two. So instead of saying we want your money now but you'll get the camera later, it's easier to promise the same date everyone else is and then benefit from the publicity, even if it's bad publicity, of everyone talking about the camera's release date being pushed. Now, this doesn't make me completely distrustful of Blackmagic. I just see a pattern, and so I'm definitely going to be lowering my expectations of them a lot, as I think you guys should probably do as well, because based off of what I've seen in the past, I don't think we're getting this camera until mid-November, and that really sucks. But even so, I still love their products, and as soon as I get mine, I will be shooting a music video to a song called Angel in Blue, where we'll be getting some outside scenes, some interior scenes, and also some scenes on green screen to really test out the camera and see what it can produce in every scenario. So with that being said, if you want to see what we create and enjoy this type of content, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be the first to see the upcoming content I've produced. I've produced a lot of beautiful things on Blackmagic cameras already. So if you're interested to see the type of things I've done, you should check out this video.